destroyed. Okay, so the fifth one on the list, I think, is SolarWinds, the SolarWinds attack. Now, this was a very, very interesting hack that happened a while back. SolarWinds have got a software, Orion. Orion is a software that is used to manage very huge networks. Okay, there are some companies that have 100,000, 80,000 employees. Means the network infrastructure is really huge. So to enable system administrators, network administrators to maintain and keep the network running, they use this software called Orion. Now, what happened is this particular software was hacked from the source, from where it is developed. The people who attacked the software added their own code to create a connection, and they hit quite a number of companies. Actually, when the attack happened, SolarWinds had 33,000 customers using Orion software. So the people who are affected are unknown, but these are the companies that identified that there was strange activities in their network. Okay. What happened is when they were updating the software from the source, from SolarWinds, the code moved from the source, which is SolarWinds, to the customers. Now the hackers had, if I can say, God's view of the network of all these companies. The US government was also hacked. These are some of the ministries that were affected by this hack. All right. So number 4 on the list is the Lazarus heist. This is a story of North Korea. They've been issued with sanctions, quite an amount of sanctions, and it makes it very difficult for them to trade internationally. So they've turned to hacking as a source of income for the government. Okay. Now these guys, around I think 2016, they tried to steal $1 billion from the Central Bank of Bangladesh. Okay, that's this small building you can see. They wanted to steal $1 billion, and you know, technically, they actually achieved it because they took in the network of the central bank, and they were able to get to the Swift software. This is a software that is used internationally to send money internationally between banks, and these guys were able to ask for a withdrawal of $1 billion from the account of Central Bank of Bangladesh. Some of the requests, the withdrawal was made in a number of requests. So some of them were accepted and some were declined. The reason why they were declined is, you know, the way you can misspell a name. One of the other reasons was the company they were using had the same name as a ship in Iran called Jupiter. Okay, So that flagged one of the companies which flagged the transaction and stopped it. So those that were successful, I think they took over $150 million, which is still quite a sum. So this guy is the one who was in. What happened is when they got into the network of the Central Bank of Bangladesh, how they got in is by phishing employees of the bank using CVs. So they would send CVs to the bank's employee. When they click, then they got access. So when the investigations were being done, in one of those CVs, this is one of the photos that was there. Okay, if you want to read how, because you see, when they stole the $150 million, they still had to convert it to physical cash and get it to North Korea, or just launder it somehow and get it to North Korea. So if you want the rest of the story, you can read the Lazarus heist. Now at number 3, we have the Ukraine power grid. So this happened around, I think, 2016. Okay, this was a very interesting event because this was the first time one country switched off power in another country by hacking the substations. Okay, so the hack had physical effect on how can I put it? The attack moved from the cyber realm and got into the physical realm, as people actually felt the pain, because this was done during winter when it was really, really, really cold, and it happened for, I think, almost a week. Okay, it showed where how can where the level of cyber warfare had gotten. Okay, and this is something that all countries should now be worried about. Okay, so these were the guys who are responsible for that particular hack. And then at number 2 was not Petya. Now, this particular hack was very interesting because this was considered an act of war, Russia versus Ukraine. Okay, so what happened is, again, the Russians attacked a software that is used by the revenue authority in Ukraine. All right. Now, you can imagine all companies that are doing tax returns were affected because the virus spread through the application that is used to submit tax returns. So one morning, 17th, I think, of July 2017, there was a timer, and then all hell broke loose. So this virus was activated, the way it spread was it was epic. There's this the best example is this to use is this company called Maersk. I think you've seen the containers. This company has 57 ports in 36 countries. Okay, 155 inland ports in 48 countries. It operates in 5 continents. Has up to 50 container ships, and somehow they deal in 25% of global shipping. All right. So this virus called Notpetya came into the mass network through one computer in Ukraine, one computer. And within 2 hours, the whole company had shut down completely. Okay. And it was shut down for 3 weeks. So you can imagine the 25% of the world shipping stopping for 3 weeks straight. As in the total damage that this virus created was around $10 billion. Okay. Again, the guys who did the same people who did the Ukraine power grid. Right. So if you want to read more about this story, you can read a book called Sandworm. And then now at number 1 is Stuxnet. Now Stuxnet is the first cyber weapon to ever be unleashed in the world. Okay, so the story it was created by the US and Israel to damage, how can I put it, to damage the nuclear program of Iran. So they created this virus and they sent it to a nuclear facility called Natanz in Iran. Okay. So the purpose of this virus was to damage these cylinder things that you're seeing. They are called centrifuges. This is part of the process where uranium for nuclear weapons is enriched. Okay. So what the virus was doing was to make these centrifuges rotate at higher speeds than normal and to slow them down to very low speeds than normal. Okay. While at the same time, the monitors for these machines should show nothing of the sort happening. So you can imagine the centrifuges are rotating at very high speeds and then being slowed down to abnormal speeds. This shows that everything is normal. By the time the Iranians realized what was happening, this virus had destroyed 2,000 centrifuges, as in that the nuclear program had been taken back years. Okay. And if you want to read this story, there's this book called This Is How They Tell Me the World Ends. and it is quite something. That's it for today. So those are the top 5 hacks I believe in the world right now. Have any questions? Any questions?
Thank you very much, Anthony. Okay, I think I might have read it wrong because I was thought having top 5 events, but it seems it was top 5 hacks. So I apologize for that. So now, in case you have any question, maybe you can. Today we are not many. In case you have any question related to the topic of the top 5 hacks, you can unmute your mic and ask. And any other related topic in cybersecurity is still welcome. So kindly feel free to go ahead and ask. Vincent, any question?
So Vincent is asking if programming is an added advantage in cybersecurity. Definitely, it is definitely. In fact, if you know programming, you'll be very good at cybersecurity. It is very important to know and understand programming.
Okay, I think I might have to ask one for myself. So I think you have
Okay.
said that those are top 5 hacks. So is it based on the magnitude of the money that was lost, based on the destruction, or based on the importance? And I think I have that.
Okay. These top 5 hacks, some of them is because of the significance. Okay. Like, for example, the hacking of the power grid. You know, when you hack something like, think about hacking Kenya Power and switching off the lights. Okay. That is the first time this happened in Ukraine. Ukraine was the first time it happened. And it created such a milestone. You know, it opened the imagination of what can actually be done through hacking. Okay. Then something like the Lazarus heist is because of the, first of all, the magnitude of the amount of money being stolen. Okay. As in, you're not just stealing from a company, you're stealing from an entire country. Okay. And you're not, the amount itself is just colossal. $1 billion for humans. $1 billion is a lot. Okay, for countries, it's not that much, but hey, it is the first time it is happening. Again, something like Stuxnet. Stuxnet was the first time one country had attacked another country using a computer virus. So for that, it was an aha moment for very many, countries and people. They got to see they got to see the power of computer code, for lack of a better word, or a virus. Okay, so the hacks that I've told you are based on significance of the event itself and the amounts and also the damage, because like not petty, the damage was ridiculous. It was very huge for a malware that was just created. Yes, I hope I've answered your question well.
Yeah, sure. So
Okay.
mimi nitauliza maswali wengine muulize. So the other question I might have is you see, now I have seen that hacking is synonymous with North Korea. Especially, I want to focus on North Korea. Like that country seems like it is the fourth world, but they pull up some of the best hacks of the planet. So I kind of wonder, like, what is this that maybe they do to have such kind of a sophisticated cybersecurity? Uh, I mean, not call them security, but hackers that are able to achieve all these, as opposed to like a country like our own, like Kenya. Let's go with Kenya, for instance. You find that Kenya, as much as we might have some of good hackers, they don't match up to the levels of such kind of a country. Besides it being some kind of a, what do you call it, improvised country. So maybe you can tell us why that happens to be the case.
Okay. Now, North Korea is a very interesting country. I think since the independence, they've only had three presidents, and they've all been father, son, father, son. Now, how they're able to do this is because of their leadership. They've had a lot of sanctions, you know, put up against their country. Now, they realized that hacking could be a source of income, the way we have coffee, tea, exporting, what we export coffee, tea, and some other things. Now, for them, hacking is like an export. So they take young children, teach them a lot of mathematics. They have a school, specific universities where they teach advanced programming, to like you're exposed to programming when you're very young. Okay. And you're basically all your life, from the time you're a child, if you're good in mathematics, you're exposed to programming all the way to university. Then you're trained within the army, and with time you become really, really good, as in they're trained from when they're children. That is why they have the ability to do what they can do. Plus, they are very well funded, as in, how can I put it? When the government is behind you, you don't have to worry about small problems like food, clothes, what you don't have to worry about some things in life. All right. So they have everything provided for them. So it's just their imagination, and that's why they are where they are. That's why they are who they are, as in that. I think that is it.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that is well answered. So I would like to welcome the rest of the members. So maybe if you have a question as we wind up, uh, you can just unmute your microphone and ask. Yeah. Okay, I think there is a question on the chat from Vincent.
How can we master cybersecurity skills and align them in the era of the emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, considering Kenya is not yet embracing cybersecurity roles for practical experience and career growth? Now, Vincent, how I can answer this is choose, first of all, it's important to choose a line and choose a line, an area, whether it's emerging technologies or the technologies that are there currently, and then practice as an individual, because that is the way, first of all, to master the skills that you have. All right. Now, in terms of aligning them with AI and blockchain, now AI is a tool, blockchain is also a tool. Now, it just depends on the line that you're taking. It is important right now, okay, the way I see it, it's important at least to try and see how AI can assist you in performing some tasks, okay? Slowly by slowly, you can, put your skills and work with AI hand in hand, okay? But its current use, okay, for myself, I've not really found something that is practical for me as a cybersecurity person, okay? There's as an example, there's a tool called Pentest GPT. So it's AI that you can use for pen testing. So some of these tools are coming up slowly. However, it's still in its initial stages because it's using very simple commands like who am I, uh, information that can be found in the public. So it's still in its initial stages. But the most important advice is practice, choose a line, and then use AI. See how you can use AI as a skill. Okay. So, Vincent, I hope I've answered you well. Uh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Vincent. Any other question? Okay. So I think we can call it an evening. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Once again, we'll meet maybe in a week or two, for another cybersecurity topic. Have a nice weekend.
Okay, thank you very much, Anthony, and thank you for the great presentation as well as answering questions to the fullest. We appreciate. And just to set it clear, we have said that we have a session after every 2 weeks. So we what tunaruka 1 week, tunaenda the other weekend. That is when we have another session. So in case maybe I had not communicated on the group, so that is the plan apparently. So we'll be communicating in case of anything. And yeah, so see you on the next weekend when we have another session. So this recording will also be uploaded on our YouTube channel. Kindly make sure you subscribe and share. And as I had said, we have some amazing stuff coming up. So keep checking Protocol Group. And yes, I can see somebody had raised a hand. You can just go ahead and ask. Okay.
Sorry, that was a mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem. So kindly, as I had said, from January next year, we're having a comprehensive learning that we shall train from A to Z on cybersecurity. So thank you very much for availing yourself, and have yourself a blessed weekend and a lovely night.